Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we will be learning to paint this beautiful pomegranate using gouache. So I'm going to be using a 300 GSM watercolor paper, and we're going to first draw out the pomegranate. It requires a very basic shape, which is like a circle. You don't have to draw the circle freehand in the beginning. You can break it into smaller parts like you see what I've done over here, and we're ready with our composition. I'm going to use a kneaded eraser to make it lighter and to remove all the extra lines. Understanding color theory is very helpful when you're making paintings in gouache, because you can create really beautiful colors in terms of your pastels by adding a little bit of white. So understanding the play of your background and foreground will help over here. So what I'm doing right now is I've added a little bit of white with my green, and I'm going to use that as a background. So you can see that it's a quite watery mix that I have created, because I want a nice, not a complete opaque background, so a slightly translucent background is what I am creating around my pomegranate first. If you don't want your brush strokes to show, then you can use a slightly bigger brush, and you can also use a very creamy texture instead. In that case, you will use a little more of your colors and little less of your water, and make a really thick mixture. I'm now going to start painting inside the pomegranate. So the first step is to create reddish orange color. So basically what I have done is I've mixed a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to add it to the base of my pomegranate. We're going to create a couple of layers over here, and now I'm adding a little bit of darker red. So what's interesting with the pomegranate is the different colors which are created on it, not just because of the play of light and shadow. It is, in general, it has like very beautiful colors on top of it. So what you can do is you can take a pomegranate, keep it in front of you, and try and recreate that, which is exactly what I have done over here. I've got a pomegranate in front of me, and then I'm just recreating that by looking at the colors on it. In some of them, you will notice that there would be a yellowish tint of color, there would be an orange tint, there would be some areas which would be really dark red, some would also be brown. The idea is to create layers right now. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing a little bit of red and brown and adding onto the left hand side to create some kind of a shadow effect, and also at the bottom where the pomegranate normally rests. Same way you're going to do it on the top. I'm going to add multiple layers right now, mix a lot of colors, and I hope you enjoy watching the process of me adding different layers to it. And it's very therapeutic to watch, and it's also very therapeutic to create it. So when you can, do create the same thing, and you can tag me on Instagram, and I can have a look at that. You can also add the hashtag LearnOutWithNick, and I will be able to see that. My favorite part is adding the final details towards the end. Now you can see that the pomegranate is coming to life, especially after adding the darker layers. One important thing to remember when you're adding these layers is you don't want the bottom layer to completely disappear when you add the darker layer on top. So always ensure that when you're layering up, the area that you cover is always lesser and lesser. Only that way you will be able to convey the message or your final product really well. So that's what is important, like what I've done with the darkest blackish brown over here. So this is what my final pomegranate looks like. I hope you had fun creating this, and I can't wait to see your renditions of the same.